Hey everyone, it's Bob from Sawdust Garage Studios. Today I'm showing you how to build a squirrel picnic table. Oh, come on man, don't eat the props just yet. You gotta wait a bit. There you go. So the squirrel picnic tables, they're made out of all cedar wood, so it's great for outside. I make them in three different options, one being the corn feeder, one is a birdseed feeder. You can also put peanuts inside there. And the other one's a combination where, oh, come on Crunchy, you can't be telling your friends, eat all of our props. It's a combination with the corn and birdseed as well. I have mounts which I put on the back. It's great for hanging onto a tree or on a fence post. Or you can just leave them on the ground and you can keep the mount off. So I have plans for this and I'm going to show you all the components and everything you're going to need to build these. So come on in, let's take a look at that. So for the squirrel picnic table, you're only going to need some 1x2 lumber. This is just cedar wood. There's a rough side to it, smooth side. I like having the smooth side facing out on all the tables. So you're going to start by cutting 5 7.5 inch long pieces. 3 of them are going to be for the tabletop. 2 of them are going to be for the bench. Next, you're going to rip a 7.5 inch piece in half, and you're going to get 2 of them out. These are going to be the supports for the bench. And then you're going to cut a 4 inch piece and rip that in half, and these are going to be the supports for the tabletop. You're going to cut 4 5 inch long pieces, and that's the measurement from the longest point of the wood. And then you're going to put a 22.5 degree angle on both sides. These are going to be for the legs, and if you just keep in mind when you're cutting these, if there's a rough side and a smooth side, if you want it the smooth side facing out, you're going to have to flip the board over so that they line up so you don't have a rough side facing out and a smooth side facing out, just to keep it consistent. For assembly, you're going to use a brad nail gun, and I like to use these 18 gauge 1.25 inch nails. I have some plans available. I'll have a link to that in the description of the video. For now, let's get cutting, and then I'll come back at the very end and I'll show you the accessories and how to outfit the tables. All right, so now we're all ready for assembly. Now we got all our pieces cut. I like to start with the top of the table. I'm gonna take my 3 pieces and I'm gonna place them face down. I have a little piece of scrap 2x4 that I attach to the table just so I have something to pull the pieces into. Then I'm gonna take these fender washers. I found these are really helpful for creating little spacers within the top. I found, like, if you want to keep these outside, if any rain hits it, they could go through the slats just like a real picnic table. So I'm going to pop these fender washers in here, pull them together. I have a little scrap piece that we used, like, from the legs. So I just took one of them, put that against the bottom, and then we're going to take our little support pieces here, throw a little glue on them. And try and center it best as you can. And then I'm going to take my nail gun and I'm going to put 2 nails in each one of the slats of the table. You can take 2 of the washers out, spin it around, put our little spacer against the bottom, take the other support, put a little bit more glue on that. And then we'll put 2 more nails in each slot again. Okay, that. And there we have it. So there's part 1 of the assembly. That's the tabletop. Now we'll move on to putting the legs together. So now we're ready to assemble the legs. So we're going to take 2 of our pieces that we had cut. With this wood, it has like a rough side to it and a smooth side. I personally like the smooth side facing out. So with that, I'm going to take them so the rough side's facing up towards me. I'm going to pull them up against the same stop block I had and bring it just so the tops are lined up and there's the 2 points are touching each other. Then I'm going to take this little jig that I made up. Since I'm always putting these together, I found this is really easy for repetitive assembly. It's just a scrap from one of the supports that we have here. So what I did was I marked 2 lines, and that's the 2 lines that match the inside of the legs, and then I put a midpoint on that. So when I line this up, place that against my stop block, then I take one of the longer supports, and I already had marked a little midpoint there. So I'm going to throw some glue on the legs here. Then we're going to line the 2 lines with the 2 midpoints. Hold that down, and then throw a couple nails in. And there we go. So just got to do that one more time, and then we'll head on putting the table on top of that. So now we have both of our leg assemblies built and our top, so we're ready to combine them both. So what I'd like to do is start by putting some glue across the top support here on the table. And then we're going to take our first leg assembly, make sure the smooth side's facing out if that's the way you want out, so the support here is on the inside. And then we're going to line them up as best we can. So what I like to do is where the legs come up, try to center it with the top space here on the table. So hold that together, and then we're going to put 2 nails on each side, and then we're going to flip it around and do that again. Again, making sure the support's on the inside, lining it up with the center, and then 2 more nails on each side. And hey, it's starting to look like a picnic table. All right, next part is just to put the benches on, and then we'll be almost done. All right, so we're on to the last part of the assembly. We got our table. Now we just want to put our 2 benches on. So I found it's a little trickier part, but basically I have this piece of tape, one of our little scrap spacers, and we're going to attach the bench, but we're going to nail it from the bottom so we don't see any of the nails on the seat. So by doing that, we're going to put some glue, and then we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to use the support to put pressure up underneath here when I'm pushing down to nail onto that. So let's try and walk you through there. So I'm going to start by putting a little glue on our little supports here. And then I'm going to put the bench on. And we're going to flip it over. Now this is the part where we're going to put some pressure as we nail down. So the table's sitting on the ground. Now we have support against here. And I have a little 1x4 here on the side, which kind of just gives me alignment so that I know the bench and the top are kind of parallel with each other. So once we have that, I'm going to take 2 nails, shoot underneath, and over here, we're going to put 2 more. So you can see the 2 nails in there. Hit it on the top. We'll spin it around. We'll do the same thing. So again, we're throwing some more glue on the 2 ends here. Hold that on there. Spin it over. Again, putting pressure down on that. Check our alignment. So we got to slide this over a little bit. There we go. And then we'll put 2 nails in. 2 more over here. Now the picnic table is officially complete. So now the last part of this is going to be for finish work. So we'll head over, I'll show you the type of finishes that I use on that. And then we're almost ready to get it out into the wild and let the squirrels enjoy themselves with it. So now we got our tables all assembled. We're ready to outfit them. We could start by turning it into either a peanut feeder or a birdseed feeder, or we could start by turning it into a, oh boy, corn feeder. And speaking of corn, there goes Crunchy. Fine, you can have it. You earned it. We could turn it into a corn feeder. For the peanut feeder, I like to use these tins. These are actually used for candle making. It comes with a lid. So what I do is I use a 3/4 inch screw and some washers. I drill a hole at the bottom of it, and then I use to attach it there. For the corn feeder, this is a number 14 gauge screw. It's 3 inches long. I pre-drill the table first, screw it up through the bottom, and then I use a cork. This is just a regular wine cork. I like to put that on there because I sell on Etsy, so when I ship it, I know it's secure. And then also, if I sell it like at a flea market or at a craft show, I know that if somebody buys it, they're not going to poke themselves. For hanging it onto the tree, they're the mounts that I had mentioned before. These are just like little L brackets. They come with screws. I like to put 1 into the back of it and then 2 in the bottom. And then for attaching it, I'll use like a 3-inch long exterior screw. And then for being outside, I like to use this outdoor Helmsman urethane. This is just like a satin finish. I'll just put a coat on it. 1 coat's usually fine. If you want to do 2, that's also fine as well. So I think that's pretty much it, and we will see you on the other side and close this out. So that's how we put our squirrel picnic tables together in the shop today. If you like what you saw, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Any questions on the build whatsoever, drop them in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as possible. And until next time, I wish you all happy building. And where did you come from? Jeez, oh man. I gotta remember to shut the garage door when I film these videos now.